this church shouldn't be here, and these towers shouldn't be here either. I was just inspired to make that. So these are just two towers, but I moved them with a lot of adjusters, so they are not here, but they are in the middle of the road. I thought it was a really cool idea. So we have that here. This is not very ancient of me to have this. This is more medieval, but I have it here. And there is also this church, which shouldn't be here. I should place it into the house then for now. Tour of my hood. Oh, there is an alien ship. Um, so yeah, I wanted to do this during the first stream I had. The very first stream, I think I tried to do this, but I don't think I think it was not very good then because my game took a long time to load then, and you're excited to see this? Great. So first of all, maybe I'll go through the community lots. So this is the like a little stage here. It's down here. There's some microphone, and there are some benches, so Sims can come here, and I pretend that uh, they're watching some sort of a play. So that's very simple, but I thought it was interesting. I'm sure someone who's better than me at building can do something way better at this, but that was just my use of this hood deco, so it actually has something inside. It's not just empty. Uh, but it was very simple, just terrain up and down, and I added stairs. So I have this here. Very simple. I built it rather recently. I mean, built is a big word for it. But just so you know, uh, this is a hood deco. It's by I don't know who it's by, but you can find it if you just Google Colosseum. And I just placed the community lot inside, so Sims can actually go there instead of this being just a decoration. And then I have the bathhouse. I think I already tried showing it during my very first stream ever, but since then it has grown a bit bigger. Or the lot is still the same, but what I'm doing here is at the back of the lot, I have a graveyard. I don't think historically the graveyard would be here, but I just wanted the graveyard to be on some community lot. So I this is my first community lot ever. By the rules of the challenge, this is like the first community lot you have. So there is like no limit on how much money you can spend of it on it. So it's like 200,000. It is a lot of money, I know. And so I have a hot spring here. This is a replacement by P Forest Sims, I'm pretty sure, Pineapple Forest PF. So it can have different colors. I picked this one. I also have two swimming pools here. This is a bit of an overkill. I don't think I need the second one here, but I really love these tiles. These are by Catherine, I think, from What the Sims. She does great builds, but also has some nice uh, tiles and terrain. And I really love these tiles because they look like plum bobs. So I imagine maybe like Sims believe in these plum bobs or something. I really like these, so I placed them down. I'm pretty sure the tiles are also by Catherine. The tiles that you see here. And other than this, I have some chairs here so Sims can sit down. I also have a little sofa. I really love those chaiselongs Sims can lounge on. And I have replacements of, believe it or not, these are very clever replacements of vending machines. So Sims can get snacks and drinks from these. These are by Shriveres. I will never know how to read this from medieval Sims. This person made a lot of like ancient Greek, uh, Persian, Macedonian stuff. I also have a little uh, sauna here. This is, I believe, a custom sauna. This is not a replacement. This is from Mod The Sims. So it looks a bit, you know, more medieval, historical, but there really shouldn't be a window in the door, but that's okay. I mean, it's for functionality. I also have a lot of hot tubs. These are all like custom hot tubs. They look very nice. I really love all this CC that I have here. And there's another hot tub here. Um, for functionality, I have like a regular um, hot bathtub because this is the lot where all my Sims are supposed to come and have a shower or a uh, bath because they don't. Most of my Sims don't have um, bathtubs at home yet at this point. I think I will get them bathtubs in medieval times, but you know, plumbing was really one of the difficult things to accomplish in historical times. Like poor people wouldn't have um, everything that they would, you know, they wouldn't have showers for sure for a long time. And this is like a little um, shop section, which I know looks a bit out of place, but I believe by the challenge rules, you are also allowed to have a little clothing store. So these are actually shopping racks. You can buy clothes from these. That's very cool. Like these look more medieval than ancient, but I still love them. And I also have this is for writing letters. This is like the postcard mod, but I believe Cupcakey made it more Regency period, so they look more like letters. And I also have perfume, and this is a cash register. And this little thing is what they can change their clothes in. So this is the proper bathhouse. It has two floors, but the second floor has nothing in it yet. I don't think I will ever have more on the second floor. The second floor is more for the looks because from I think from outside it looks better if I have two floors in this building simply. It's a big building, huge. And here at the back, because I had more space here, I decided to have my graveyard here. The graveyard is huge already, in my view. Um, oh no, this shouldn't be here. Just ignore it. Um, I think this is my custom content. I somehow didn't. This didn't move here. It was like a little decorative urn or something, but I don't have it, so it was the big apple. It shouldn't be the big apple. But yeah, yeah, it is like a Roman bathhouse. Exactly. This is a Roman bathhouse. I believe they had, you know, the most similar we can really do in The Sims 2, in my view, is that we can have a swimming pool. But swimming pools don't really give you hygiene at all. So I have a hot spring and the hot tubs. And for usability, I sometimes use just regular bathtubs because um, I mean that's just more convenient, but it's not very historical. And there is also a little toilet. Toilets like this are actually quite historical, I think. I mean, this is obviously CC, but it was like historical that they would all go to the toilet next to each other, which is a bit strange for us these days, I think. But um, that's how it was in the past. Okay, so for the graveyard, this is My biggest family, this is the Imperial family. So the original emperor and empress are here, I think. Yeah, so these were the founders. So they have like a little statue just for decoration. These were the founders, and this was the second royal couple. Um, Unfortunately, they died really young, uh, but before they died, they had children. So the current emperor is their child, their grandchild, basically. And these couple also, this is the second child of the second son of this couple. So this was the heir. This was the spare. The spare lived longer than the heir, but was not really needed because the heir had children before he passed away. So unfortunately, they are all deceased now, but the family is alive for now. Now, so this is the emperor family because basically they had the most children and they had the most money. The second family, let's go here. This is a patrician family. I placed their urns on this uh, 4-2 conversion, so they all have like uh, a big I don't know, family grave. So this is the founder and his wife. These are the founders, and this is their grandchild, I believe, grandchild and his uh, wife, because their grandchild died very early, but their son is still alive. We will go there and see. So their son is now an elder, will soon die, but for now he's alive. And another patrician family. So patrician think it's like to the royal family. Basically, if you got married to the royals, you would be a patrician, as opposed to plebeian. These were uh, the founders again. So this lady here was very interesting. She was actually a plant sim, but I rolled that she would die like in childbirth. So I just had to kill her with poison mod because she wouldn't die otherwise. You know how plant sims are, that they will just not die. Um so so yeah. So I had to kill her prematurely. Her husband, though, lived for quite a long time, I think, yeah, but also died. Recently, he was actually raised as a zombie by someone, and you will see how that where that goes. This was their daughter, and she died very young, and I had biggest issues with her after her death. She It was so strange. So for some reason, my game thought that she was a townie. Like after she was dead already. You know how when you age up a sim, um, you can age up another townie with them. So when I aged up her husband, it asked me to age up her together with him. But she was already dead. So how do you want me to age up a dead sim game? So yeah, this was her. I had to revive her and kill her again, and then it stopped doing this. But this was like the weirdest bug I ever had with dead sims in my game. So yeah, this was their daughter, and her husband is, I believe, still alive. Yeah, that's why I have this vase here, whatever this is, statue. When he dies, he will join his wife in the afterlife. And this was her, this here is her daughter and their granddaughter. So this is third generation. She also died young but had children, so her children are still alive. The most children, the first couple had the most children, but these guys have the most generations. So they will probably last for a long time, and we'll see. And my plebeian families are here. So again, founders, and this is their child, who also died by now, unfortunately. I think he was poisoned or something like this. And another plebeian family, founders, and their son, who died, but had a son. So this family also has a lot of dog graves here because they were trying to become werewolves. Um, yeah. And this part of the graveyard, this really shouldn't be here. uh, these are Sims from like another part of my town. These are my Asian Sims, like think of Shang Simla or Takemizu village. So I just placed them here, but uh, they shouldn't be here. So yeah, this is my graveyard. This is my biggest graveyard I had like created in game for now. But yeah, this was the Roman bathhouse, and I have this graveyard at the back of it, which shouldn't be here, but it is because I wanted it to be on a community lot. And before I go to see the families, there's one more community lot I have. I really like this community lot. I think I already created a video of it. I had a video with the tour of this after I built it. It's very simple, but I really like this lot anyway. There's a beach lot, and we have a temple. And in the temple, you can see a lot of those invisible um, spaces. But basically, this is meant to be like a place of worship. As you know, the ancient people would be polytheistic, so they would have a lot of different gods. I imagine this is for some female gods here because I like the statues. Originally, or not originally, but I had some issues with my graveyard and I placed graves here. I had the urns here, but I decided that there was too little space here to have graves, so I moved them back to the swimming pool for now, to the bathhouse. This is like a prayable uh, altar. Sims can do like a praying animation. There is a kneeling one and standing one. So Sims can come here and pray. So very simple. And also on this side here, I have like a place to get married. Um, I have a couple of different wedding arches. There's the hacked one, and there is the one where you will have what is it called? Bridesmaid, which is a sister or a child of the groom or bride. A fun fact is, from what I was reading, In ancient times, in ancient Rome, um, what they did to get married, the patricians and imperial families, so the more important ones, they would eat bread or something. So I decided that it's very important that they eat the wedding cake during the wedding ceremony. So the actual wedding ceremony is eating the cake, not actually exchanging vows, but eating the cake, if that makes sense. I really like this lot because it's a beach lot, and I just love beaches. so, uh, so yeah, this is my favorite lot for now, probably. For this, that's a stunning view. Yeah, I also think so. And thank you. Yeah, I really think that it's very nice. The only problem is that I think I destroyed this road here a little, but just never mind this. Um, because when I placed the beach, I think it destroyed this road a bit here. That's okay. Okay, and right next to this lot, there's a very tiny lot that I really yeah, as you can see, this this road here is broken. Uh, I think I could fix it, but I'm afraid that it would destroy this lot then, so I'm not sure. But this lot is meant to be a Vestal Virgin's house. It's very small. I shouldn't have made it so small, but I did. What it really should be is they should be, they should live in this temple, but it's a community lot, and I want to keep it a community lot. So I moved them into this small lot. It's way too small. um, Now about the Vestal Virgins, they were very important in ancient Rome, and what they had to do is they had to make sure that there is this everlasting fire, because there was a belief that if this fire dies, then the empire will fall to, some barbarians probably. Or let's say 36, you could still start a household, and you could be an independent woman. Like, you wouldn't have to marry, you wouldn't have to come back to your original household. You had your own house. You had quite a lot of money, I think. I don't know how much exactly, but you could have your own house. So you had to have enough for that. You could get married if you wanted to. Um, you could still have children at 36. Though I guess, in old times, rather unlikely that you would have children around 40, but I think at 36 still possible. So you could basically do anything you wanted, as long as as long as you were a good Vestal Virgin, you didn't do anything. Um, Hello, gift of Gabby. How are you? Thank you. I'm well. I hope you're great. I'm just showing my hood with a lot of custom content, so I'm hoping everything works. And I'm loading into the first household. I was just showing my community lots, but now I'm going into actual household. All right. So this is like a little temple. Um, it should be, like I was saying before, it should be part of this lot, but this lot is community, and this lot is actual residential. So I didn't want it to be big, but I made it very small. So they basically live in the basement. They live in the basement. They have a little fridge here. Yep. So I have two fires here. This one is actually everlasting. This one will never die. But this one will. So what I do is every 8 hours, they collect ashes and they start the fire again. I know it's not like very interesting, but it gives me something to do with them. So because that was their biggest um, uh, thing they had to do. They had to make sure that the fire is always burning, and they can pray to this. If they pray, they can either get like blessed or cursed. If they get cursed, then their energy drops to like zero, and they have to go to sleep. Um, yeah, I think it failed. You see, though, now she has to go to sleep, and she's also sick. Everyone is sick in my hood. So yeah, like I said, I do not allow them to do anything romantic until they graduate from this. Um, but who are these ladies? So this one actually joined because of a random occurrence scenario. Otherwise, she wouldn't have joined. But I allowed it because scenario basically said your sim runs away and they can join the clergy. So she is actually a granddaughter of the original emperor. Her father died already, and mother as well. Uh, her mother was sort of like an alien-looking lady. I really like the way this sim looks like. Uh, I don't really like this one. I'm sorry for this, but I don't really like her. But yeah, they are all wearing like Roman clothes, at least for um their everyday wear. And now she's also sick. Wow, great. So yeah, that's her. She has the like elf ears because her mother had them. I think she's a really good looking sim. Yeah. So their day is basically just praying, making sure that the fire doesn't die. So she's a granddaughter of the emperor. And the other one, that was the first one, she is she is a special case. She really shouldn't have been born. But basically, I mentioned when I was going through the graveyard, this sim here, for some reason, after she died, she had two children and she died. And then when I aged up her husband, it told me that I can age her up, which shouldn't happen to dead Sims, right? So my game thought she was a townie. So I revived her. She had one more child, which is this uh, child here. And then I killed her again. And now she is hopefully peaceful. Hopefully her soul is in peace. So yeah, and this building looks like a little star or a little like I really it should be a round circle, but it's a star. So that's not like the most interesting household to play, but if I get any more Vestal virgins, they will join and they will pray and they will make sure that the fire is everlasting. Or yeah, like I said. Uh oh, you're doing the Wild West. Yeah, I imagine that needs a lot of research. I hope you will find enough resources. I know it can be difficult sometimes. Okay. And now let's maybe go to. Well, okay, let's go here. If it crashes, then I guess it's the end of the store. Um, so this is the Imperial household. It is opposite the bathhouse that I showed at the beginning. So it was sort of built in the same style, like it's also marble and uh, like its tower like overlooks the bathhouse. It was meant to be like the same complex, if that makes sense. Oh no, I don't have my custom beds. Oops, that's problematic. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, um, it was sort of meant to be to go with that bathhouse lot, like it's opposite that. I hope that makes sense. It's not the exact same building, but it's overlooking that one. So that's like the royal palace, okay, sort of. The top floor is basically unusable because nothing can be here. So I just have some um, modded objects here. This is the emperor, um, or rather his wife. So you might have noticed in this household there are basically only women. Normally there are men too, but the problem right now is that almost all men are at the war because I had this random occurrence scenario and men are at war. But this is um, Sen. Sen is my empress, so she is the wife of my current emperor, who is at war. um, she had her picture painted by their servant with her son, the heir to the crown, the heir to the yeah. She had a son, so she did her duty. She has a son. She now can live in peace until her husband comes home. But I will show you her husband. I just hope my game doesn't crash. They're not divorced or anything. It's just he is at war. So, uh, this, this is her husband. The emperor, as you can see, he's the emperor. He has the little laurel, and that's her husband. So, Sen is from the house Tia, um, that I wanted to go, but also there is really nobody to show you there from the Tia household because they almost all died. Well, basically all of them died. Yes. So this house is known for its connections to the royal family, uh, the empress's house. Uh, so the empress had this grandfather who is still alive but also at war. His sister had um, this emperor with the previous emperor who died very young. But the thing here that I just want to mention is that these two are actually related. I do not have any uh, I do not have any mod for like more closer family relations available. It's just how the game works. So basically, the game allowed this. They are like second cousins, once removed or something. Uh, why the game allowed it, by the way, is because they like skipped a generation, basically. I think. Yeah. So you see, so the husband, right, the emperor, is the grandson of this guy, right? He's the grandson, and she is the great granddaughter. So she is like one generation lower, if that makes sense, and he is in the one generation. He's one generation older, but they are the same age. So anyway, the game allowed it. So it's basically a cousin marriage or whatever. And it's okay in the game. So you know, I allowed it. Yeah. So that's the empress, and this is the royal son who will be one day the emperor. There is nothing really interesting to show about him yet, but you know, he was born in purple, so he will be the emperor. The only weird thing is he has some weird wants. I don't know what's wrong with him. He wants to play peekaboo, but this want doesn't get fulfilled. It's not a toddler want. It should be for children and up. And he is really obsessed with playing with cats. So, I mean, he has two cats, he can play with them. I just hope he will be okay in later stages in his life because as a toddler, he has some weird wants. Alright, who else do we have here? We have Sesoshet. That's an Egyptian name, I believe. So she is the emperor's only sister. As you can see on the family tree, she is his sister. So she is the princess. Um, so I think if the emperor didn't have a son, then if she had a son, the son could overtake. But the emperor had the son and she had a daughter. So it's unlikely that her line will like take over, but we'll see. Uh, she has a husband who was just cast made because I needed some people. I can show you her husband. He's not very interesting, but this is her husband. So he was just castmates. There's nothing much to say about him. Um, but their marriage was like sort of arranged. She is a romance sim, so she actually uh, has a crush on someone else as well. So she would be happy, you know, without this whole arrangement of getting married. But these are historical times, so and their daughter is at school. Um, I mean, we can wait for her to come back, I suppose. But yeah, and everyone else in this house really doesn't matter because they are servants. I just moved them all in here, and all servants do is, they fish for them, they clean the house, they, yeah, they cook for them, and everything. And there are a lot of them. The servants also have like a dynasty going on, I guess. And this servant maxed out creativity, so she was the one who painted the pictures. We have a picture of where is the picture? Whoops. Um, we have a picture of the Sashasat, the sister of the emperor. Um, this was her before I changed her hair. She had a picture when she was a child, a teen, and now she had a picture. This is her daughter um, as a toddler. Now she's at school. They have a huge room here. The problem with this house is that it's so empty because I didn't bother doing much to it. But this is the kitchen. This is um, dining, and they have music here, so they can dance here. I have the parties because the royals have to throw parties, right? These are this is the emperor who died very young. Uh, these two, they are the original. emperor family. They had 6 children, but only half of them are still alive. Oh, I missed one. Oh my god, I missed one. So this also princess here. This is the current emperor's aunt. She is a lesbian. I allowed her to like do her own thing, and I think it fit her. So she is romantically involved with the servant here. So yeah, and the servant actually wanted to get married to her. She had the engagement wand, but she got rejected. And I sort of wanted it to be rejected because even if they got engaged, I wouldn't have allowed them to be married. Partly because of historical accuracy, I think, but also, I mean, I really don't think, a part of the royal family would marry a servant. That's too big of a difference. But she is, happily going steady with the servant. I allow this. uh, you know, uh, it's just not a very official relationship. And she also maxed out creativity, and she has been writing books. So uh, that fits. And I think there actually was um, like a famous. I'm not sure if Roman or Greek, but there was a famous ancient woman who is thought to have been a lesbian, possibly. So I thought it was perfect that I had a sim like this. So she is also a very interesting sim. She will become an elder in like 10 days though, so she doesn't have that much long to live yet. I use max's aging, so my sims die fast, even if they don't like roll badly. And this is Fausta. This is the daughter of Seshaset, who was at school. So this is her mom, and this is her daughter. So this is the cousin of the future emperor. I hope that makes sense. These families are big. Yeah. So that was the imperial. Well, I actually didn't show the house very well. I know it's not very interesting, but this is the kitchen, the dining. This is like a dancing room, and this is the nursery. So we have a little toddler area and beds, and just don't mind these beds. I had different beds here, but they didn't move over. But basically, these are mostly for servants, so some more beds. And I should have one more or even 2 more bedrooms here for like the princess. So that's the next thing I will have to build here. The other thing, I built like a little library here because she wanted some books, I think, and she wanted like a chaise and stuff. And so I got it for her. And is um, this is a jail. This is a jail. So there's a library and there's a jail. The library also has the mysteriously mysterious mystery novels. So if I deleted this uh, or locked the door, they could still go from here, if that makes sense. And yeah, this is the chamber we were in already. This is uh, the actual imperial bedroom. So now it's the empress's, and when her husband comes back, he will also be here. Yeah. And they are supposed to be rich. Uh, they have a little um, terrain here with a fountain, and they have a lot of ponds and a lot of columns everywhere. But I have to still work on the interior of this because it's a big house. That I don't really like such big houses. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Gift of Gabby. I think that was her name. Second cousin isn't weird. Most people don't even know them. Yeah, I agree. Gift of Gabby. That's not so weird. It's just I think it's a little weird because I mean I don't know. It's the they are granddaughter and great granddaughter and grandson. That's I don't know. I mean, if you know your grand uh, parent, I think that's a bit weird. um, you don't know where to start the researching. What exactly are you researching? I usually research like if I have a question, I will like ask Google. um, okay, and my next household. So this will be very strange because basically these people shouldn't be here. This is originally this was um the house of the Tias, the Tia household, so related to the Empress. But um, basically, the only surviving member of the Tia household is this person, Zed. Uh, and of course, the Empress we just saw, and the Empress's brother who is also at war. So, so really, nobody lives in this house now because Rana is a Vestal virgin, so she lives with other Vestals. Um, yeah, and the Empress Sen lives at the Imperial house because she's now an Empress. So nobody really should reside in this house now. But look at this family tree. One, two, three, four, five generations now. This is the biggest in terms of generations. Even though they didn't have that many children, so Zed's father was the founder. They only had two children. Yeah. Their daughter married uh, what would have been an emperor, and well, Zed married this cursed girl who didn't want to be dead. I don't know. And they had two children, and the third one after her death. So she really shouldn't be alive that she's here. And she's a Vestal virgin, so I don't think she will, procreate in any way. She will just stay Vestal. And yeah, so the only other member of this family is this guy. Not really much to say about him yet, other than he had a little fling. I don't know. He had a little um, infatuation in the sister of the emperor, and he wanted to get engaged to her, but she said no. They are going steady, but like she has a husband, and I don't think I will be doing a polyamory thing with them, like an actual double marriage or something. So yeah, this guy here, he is the brother of the empress that I showed you in the previous house. But other than this infatuation with the princess, he doesn't have any interesting stories yet. However, as you can see, he has a different surname. So one unfortunate thing is that this family name, I called them Tia, like I don't know, T or something. Unfortunately, their surname has died. The surname is dead because they only had Zed only had one son, and that son had a daughter, but everyone is dead anyway. Like it was a daughter, so she wouldn't have carried the surname. And yeah, basically this surname will die with him and with this Vestal Virgin. There will be no more of the surname. So by the challenge rules, I think this family sort of like fails in, like living on. And what we, however, who we see here is another family. uh, so this is one of my Asian sins. So I also added Asian sins because I needed some more genetics. And she had two children. One of them is the father of the guy we just saw and the Empress. However, he is unfortunately deceased. And she also had a daughter who just died, had these children who we have here, the babies, but they are babies, so there is not much to show there. She had the babies with this castmate Sim. Uh, yeah, and he also had this um, girl who also died. She was married to the last like men in the Stia household, but unfortunately they didn't survive, and like they only had a daughter, and she is not no longer with us. So she had those two castmate children, and these two he had after he got married. But I have to link them. They should be linked as married probably. I can do it in SimPE. But it's very sad because this was one of my favorite families, but unfortunately they didn't really survive this test of time. So let me show you the house. This is my Patrician house. I have the exact same house for another Patrician family, so it will be the same house. This is the main room. They have like a little hole in the roof because I believe that's how Roman houses would look. Uh, and this wouldn't really be a pool in reality, but like rainwater would come from the uh, roof, and they would have like a little rainwater here. Um, I believe. And we have some sculptures, and we also have a lot of paintings. So this is one of the sadly deceased Sims. This is her. She was like the last person from this generation uh, who had the surname, but she was a female, and she unfortunately died. So it never went anywhere. And this was the last um, man with the Tian name. This was him. They had one child, this child, the girl, but unfortunately they also died without any more children. So that didn't go anywhere. This is, I believe, yeah, this is the Vestal Virgin, and these are some random pictures. This was the actual founder. He lived for a lot longer than his wife. This is him. He was actually recently raised as a zombie by someone, so we will still see him today. And this was the Empress. This is the Empress, but she had a different hairstyle here. This is Sen, the Empress, playing the harp here. playing the harp. And this is saw him here. This guy. He was also pictured. And this is the emperor. I don't know why we have a picture of him here. I guess he came over and I decided to take a picture of him. But yeah, the main area is here. That's like a living room. They have a chess table. This is the main bedroom. They have a little bookshelf, the bed, a little a little computer here, but this is supposedly books, but it's a computer. And there are a couple rooms here, just single bedrooms. Was I reviving someone? No, I revived one person once because I had to do it. And this is the nursery. So normally a servant lady would live here who is like a wet nurse, a slash I don't know, governess slash nanny. Normally a nanny would live here and take care of babies. And there's also some toddler stuff. And this is the kitchen. But why it's so empty is because there was a fire here. I don't have the more dangerous fires or anything. I have fight or flight. But basically, the whole kitchen burned down. And they also have a little pond and a little altar. And someone died here. When they hunt again, I will send them to the graveyard. But yeah, that's the Patrician house. Sadly, like I said, like almost nobody is still alive from this family, which sad sucks. And another Patrician family, that's the um this is the evil family. Um, they are very evil. Um, so the founders were not necessarily evil, but their son is very evil. He is almost max grouchy, and knowledge sims usually want to like, revive people, want to make a zombie. So if you know the Sims 2, most Sims will want to revive someone, right? And they are afraid of making someone into a zombie. But he wanted to make so many zombies that I decided, well, okay, I will allow you to be this evil warlock and you will make a zombie. So what he did is he made this man into a zombie. If you remember from the previous household, he is the founder of the Tia family, right? The family that's dying out. He was revived as a zombie. He is a zombie. He all he thinks about now is brain because a zombie. So I have like a story to go by here. Basically, he his name is Samsa. Um, he revived this man for a reason. So it's not that he wanted to revive that guy. He wanted to revive someone. And it just happened that it was possible to revive that guy. They are best friends. Like the zombie thinks they are very good friends. But he is only using him because he also wants to become a zombie himself. And he is almost approaching, his expiry date. So what he wants to do, in my view, like the story I'm going with, is that this sim here wants the zombie he raised to max out magic and like I don't know, gather ingredients and everything, and he wants to be revived as zombie, and he wants to like live forever. And I know zombies, it's a terrible existence to be a zombie. But I mean, he wants to, and he is a terrible person. So I might allow this. His wife was one of the princesses, so she is also from the royal family. She is also a very interesting sim. So I gave her the hopeless romantic trait, but before I did, I swear, I only gave it to her like years after, like a long time after she showed no interest in anyone but her husband as an adult. Because when she was a teenager, she actually had other love interests. Her husband was always her first. She had first kiss, fell in love with him. He was her first love, but she also had other loves. She was in love with this man who is now dead. He's one of the plebeian people. Uh, she also kissed Zed. Zed is the surviving Tia who will soon die, though, unfortunately. So she had a lot of loves as a teen. She had three loves as a teen. But then, as an adult, she got married. And I swear, she never had any wants to, like, fall in love with anyone else. And it was before I gave her the hopeless romantic. So I just decided, I will give her the hopeless romantic trait because for some reason she's just not interested in any other romance. And sure, I also gave her secondary family, but that doesn't stop them from rolling multiple loves. So I just thought she was very interesting in that. She likes going on dates and like flirting, but she is not that interested in other people other than her husband. So yeah, she is one of those six children. She was actually the eldest, but she's a woman, so she just wanted to marry rich, marry into a good family, relatively rich. She had her less fortunate sister who died very young. The to be emperor died very young too, and her other brother also died already. She also has two sisters, but they were a lot younger than her, so they are still alive. Um, but yeah, she was a very interesting romance sim. I don't know if that is somehow uh, decided by personality, but I don't think so. However, she is like very, very shy. She has no outgoing points and everything else. She's basically the perfect sim. She has everything maxed out. So I always thought she was very interesting because she never wanted more loves as an adult. She had some as a teen and then she was done with this. She had three children with the evil warlock before he was a warlock. She just recently became the warlock. Um, her eldest son is at war, but he already married and had a daughter. Her second son married and had a son, and that's very sad because uh, this son will probably take over. And he was like more grouchy. He wasn't like the best sim ever either. He took over more after his father than mother. And the third son is not married yet. He's still a teen. So who we can see here is this. Yeah, he's very grouchy. Not as grouchy as his grandfather, but quite grouchy. So probably this sim here will take over. Because like in birth order, he will take over. It's possible that their first son will still have a son, then that son would take over. But we don't know, or I don't know yet, if their firstborn son will come back from the war. This is his lovely wife. She was Cathmaid historically, you know. But yeah, he's not exactly like his mom. He's outgoing and sloppy, so that's the difference. But look, they have so many personality points. Like they are such good sims. Yeah, but he's at war right now. He shouldn't be here. But they only had a daughter for now. So if they only have a daughter and he passes away, he doesn't come back from war, then unfortunately he will not take over. And this is their lovely daughter. Again, like very extreme personality, though not as good. Very sloppy, very serious, but also outgoing, active, and nice. That's their daughter. She's a toddler, so you can't really see that well. And yeah, so probably, unfortunately, it will be Sylvanus who takes over, and he is another grouchy sim. His father and mother, his parents are deceased, but he is alive. So if he is the only son, uh, the only man, he will take over. There's also the third son, still a teen, no romantic prospects yet. If something happens to him, then the third son will obviously take over, but he is the third son. So um, I actually never thought that I would be thinking of him possibly taking over. That's all because the second born son already died, and the firstborn is at war, so it's possible that he will take over. He is very cute looking, I think. Um, he is unfortunately also grouchy though. Like only their firstborn was like mother. Unfortunately, it's a very grouchy family. What can I say? All they want to do is like kill Sims, revive Sims as dead zombies, and like I said, this is a patrician house, so it looks the same as the Tia house. It's the same. They also have the little hole in the roof. They have the little swimming pool in the main room, chess table, some sculptures and columns. However, at least their kitchen was never burned down, so you can see what it originally looked like. So it had sofas here, a dining table, some tables and counters, you know, uh, and the same layout. This is also the nursery. Whenever there is a servant to take care of the children, the servant lives here, feeds the child, teaches them if needed. Uh, this is a bit different because I just placed the rooms in a different order just because they wanted a pool. This is a pool. It's like a medieval billiards or billiards table, I guess. Yeah. It looks more like they are, thinking about war, planning strategy for war. And yeah, they have a lot of single rooms for all the children. And this is the main bedroom. Again, uh, the same bed and everything. There's a However, there's also a setup for warlocks here. This is, the cheaty warlock uh, throne and books and cauldron. Hello, Bobo. I'm just showing my private hood. So yeah, I already showed it like the very first stream I did, but I feel like I don't know. I'm still disorganized doing that, but I wanted to have it just recorded. So yeah, this family is actually likely to stay here for a long time. They had three sons, which is crazy. All their children were sons. Um, so they are likely. It's likely that their surname will survive. Um, Only for generations for now, but so yeah, like the Tia family, the previous one I showed, they already have five generations. That's because they got married young. I think they got married as teenagers. They definitely did as well. So that's why they have five generations. So that's obviously a mod. Like you cannot get married as teens in Sims 2, but um, yep. It's so big I have to scroll down. But yeah, four generations in this family. The only problem with this family is they are really not doing very well money wise. Like they don't care that much about money, and they will have to do something soon because they're broke. um, so there is no like real problem with their family name not getting passed on, but they have no money. So they will have to do something with money. All right. And now the plebeian family. Now this is weird because I actually had two houses here, but one of them disappeared when I did, I don't know. I think it's when I was first streaming, the first stream I ever did, because I was moving my downloads folder and my HUD folder uh, during my stream, and I must have put something somewhere wrong because I had another lot that was the same as this one, but it was next to it, and another lot that disappeared. I also had another lot here. It was again the same as this one, but it disappeared. Actually, that's why this family is here because their lot disappeared, so I moved them there because they are related. But yeah, this was another lot that disappeared. Thankfully, the Sims were still there. I could like summon them on the Sim Blender and add them to the family, but their lot disappeared. So that's why. That's why I also had all the plebeians move together, which is sort of historically accurate, I guess, because plebeians would live in like basically an apartment from what I have read. But for playability, I preferred regular houses. I just wanted the houses to be the same and next to each other, but the house disappeared, so we have only one house. This is not really a plebeian. This is a son of a grandson of the emperor. His father died, however, and his father was together with like an alien. We already saw uh, his sister. She is a Vestal virgin, and he is living here. I don't know. It's basically like oh, and my dog grew up. Yeah, my dog grew up. Dogs are another story. Uh, but most of them are here. There were some in the Imago household, and I didn't show them. I mean, they're all wolves, so they look very similar. So, there's not much to say about this sim other than he has alien eyes. His mother was an alien, but I just made her in cast. Like, oh my god, stop crying. I will not smoke with you. Uh, yeah. So he is an interesting sim. I don't think he's very good looking. His cheeks look a bit Unfortunate. Unfortunately. He was originally a Roman sim, but unfortunately, I rolled a Ross, so his aspiration was supposed to be changed, or like he was supposed to get a secondary aspiration, but he was below gold. He was below gold, and the machine uh, um, backfired, and he is now a grilled cheese sim. Yeah. Um, I know grilled cheese doesn't sound particularly historical, but they have goats. So if you have goats or sheep and cows, you get milk from sun and moon. And okay, and I think animals think they are sick because they don't have food. But you can milk them, and if you can milk them, you can also make cheese. So to me, grilled cheese is okay. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be grilled in the old times, but what can you do? It's an aspiration. So yeah, he unfortunately changed aspiration. This should be a red. In my view, in my mind, it should be a red memory because it backfired, but it's not. And yet now he will just keep wanting to eat cheese. Uh, all right, so that's just one family living here. He's like taking care of them because nobody else is here, basically. Yeah. Now this family here, he is an orange. So his father is at war. So this family was also quite unfortunate, but also interesting. So the founder actually was a werewolf. My sims, a lot of my sims try to be werewolves, but uh, the leader of the pack decided to bite this one. So he was a werewolf. Unfortunately, he only had one son, and then his wife died, but they had one son at least. Then their son again had one son. Um, Now, if you think this shouldn't be happening because they have relations to the imperial family, they really shouldn't have relations to the emperor, um, because they are plebeian, they are not patrician. But that's because this happened before before I calculated everyone's money. So this was still in the prehistorical period, and so everyone could marry whoever in that time period. Like money didn't matter yet. That's why he married one of the de facto princesses, but it was a very long time ago. So that's why. So they had a yeah. So the founder had a son, and then his son had a son, and another son. So even though they only had one son in each generations, because unfortunately it was mostly mother mortality. This is the father. Uh, he's at war right now. He's a family sim as well, which is tragic because his wife died, and I'm sure he would like more children. Though now he's afraid of having a child because they have no money. Basically, the story of this household is that they had a werewolf in the family, and then I guess maybe it's a curse that each of them only had one baby. And these are the wolves. There's also a family tree for the wolves. If you're interested. They all look very similar. Like they were all the white and black and gray wolves that spawn in the game. These were the original wolves that spawn in my game. I adopted them. They had a baby. They actually had two babies. And then, so they had babies with new wolves that spawned. And these were also usually adopted. Uh, this one has not been adopted yet, so he's still running around. But uh, yeah, the wolves also have four generations now, at least like one branch of them. But other than that, it's not that much to say about them because it's just game spawned wolves. Um, there was just a lot of them. All right. So yeah, that's the orange family. So for now, their name is safe, but I mean, it's been only one baby in each um, generation, so that's a bit scary. Very, very light skin with those birthmarks. This was not made by me, but I just turned it into a default because I thought it looked more, I mean, a bit more realistic than purple skin. So for now, I'm using this one. So this family, also quite unfortunate because again, founders only had one son, and the son was abducted by aliens and died in childbirth. Um, so yeah, that he had a son, and the son got married. Unfortunately, only had one daughter, and the mother died. So this family name is also done for. So that's very sad. But yeah, unfortunately, this family will also die down because well, because patriarchy. So yeah, and that's my main families. That's basically all my main families. And yeah, as for the house here, this is very simple. This was meant to be an apartment, like an apartment complex, one next to the other. I have some beds here for everyone. Um, there are also some portraits of the orange people because this was originally the orange house, but everyone moved in here because the catastrophe. This is the werewolf founder. This is the werewolf founder. Uh, yeah, the great grandfather of this child. So I made like some werewolfy uh, pictures with wolves. Um, Not a lot of space. I mean, still quite a lot because you really don't have uh, the possibility to have a lot of furniture like TVs or anything. So they also have goats. I already showed that Sun and Moon. They have a little stall here because they actually have to earn money, pay taxes and everything. That's why they're so poor. There's all the garden plants. Uh, I also have poppies here, but right now it's winter, so there's nothing. And there's some doghouse, and because they had a supernatural in the family, I allowed them to use some supernatural plants. So they, for example, have a cow plant. I don't think they will use a cow plant because they are not like grouchy sims. They also have a death flower, and I think they already had one cow plant, which was, yeah. So if you get the supernatural garden, you can basically grow a cow plant, and then it will turn into the career reward. It's pretty cool. But I don't think this family will really need it, will really use it. And these are all the dead ladies, unfortunately. So yeah, a lot of death, a lot of death. So these were all my main families. So the Roman part of my town, but I also have the Asian part of my town. There really isn't that much to say about them, but so let's start with the family who actually has ties to the Roman part of my town. So I know this doesn't really make that much sense, but some of my Sims went on like pilgrimages or something like that. Usually it was because of a Ross random occurrence scenario, and so the Roman Sims would go to the Asian part of my town, for example. And one such sim was um, this princess. She was a princess. She, yeah, she is the, well, almost the youngest. She's not the youngest, but she is the aunt of the current emperor. However, she lives here in Asia. As a teenager, she moved here and she wanted to stay here. She fell in love with someone, basically. And they had two daughters. By the way, so this is just by the way, she is quite grouchy, probably the grouchiest out of like her siblings. And what happened is after she had those two daughters, I had another scenario where her husband left her and became a monk, like an ancient Chinese monk in a monastery. Um, this happened a lot in this part of town, actually. A lot of fathers left their wives, and this was like a plague. But yeah, her husband left her, and then I got another Ross where I was supposed to murder someone. And the scenario says that you should murder your enemy. My Sims very rarely have enemies. Sometimes they do, but like I really have to like start it and initiate it or this will never happen. But I decided that you know what? She is evil. So I decided that she would kill her husband. So she killed her husband. She ruled her husband and killed him. And according to the Ross, I'm supposed to like um, roll every round if she gets caught. So far, I think it's been already 2 rounds and she wasn't caught. Her daughters will never like her daughters won't, snitch on her, right? Like her daughters, I mean, they either didn't realize what happened, thought it was like, natural, that their father died, it wasn't premature, or they won't do anything. But if there's some walk by that I think makes sense, I like roll if they will snitch on her, and then she would go to jail or something. And this family, um, so the founders are not alive anymore, but basically, um, I wanted them to have a florist business. This is my flower arranging station. It wasn't doing very well though, and so the son of the founders wanted to do something else instead. So I gave them chickens. All the chickens are here. I know they should be outside, but it drives me mad because they are cloned of cockroaches and they will like keep moving all around. So I just put them inside because I couldn't deal with this anymore. So they sell chickens and eggs. Um, all the Chinese or Japanese houses look the same in my game because I'm not a big builder, so it just all looks like this. I think it looks good from the outside, not so great in the inside. Uh, yeah. So they are actually quite wealthy because I mean she was a princess, so I imagine she would have brought some money with her. So they have two bedrooms. They even have a little bath, and they have this Asian table, dining table. So they sit a little lower with it. I should also get them a tea ceremony table someday. Yeah. And well, this daughter is not married yet. There is really not much to say about her yet. So not that much to say. However, um, she also had another daughter, and we will now see where she went. But unfortunately, she is already deceased. Well, but was so lucky, so funny. The murder was so funny, I imagine. Um, but yeah, she was evil, and I decided. I mean, her husband left her, so she might as well just kill him. And her daughter went here. Now I have plans for this. I actually have plans for this lot. I don't want like a whole, an imperial harem situation, but I read a bit about it, and ancient Chinese men would be allowed to have basically as many wives as they could not wives, one main primary wife, and they could have concubines. So what I want to do, I haven't done yet though because his first concubine already died, unfortunately. But I will create more. So this sim here, I think he looks very nice. I made him in cast though, so like cast made sims usually look good, and it only gets worse when you have children. So he was married to the firstborn daughter of the princess we just saw, uh, and they had a baby girl. And this actually makes perfect sense that they had a girl, because they had a girl. I feel like it makes a lot of sense that he would like to get more concubines and a wife. But this is their child. So she's his firstborn girl. Unfortunately, his wife passed away in childbirth. It is likely I will make uh, her sister also be his concubine. I will see. But yeah, the house is basically the same, and he has this is business career, but this is replacement. This is merchant, a merchant career. He is a family sim, not romance, because I think he just wants to have as many children as possible, and it's okay with him that it's with um, different partners. What I will do is I will make more wives for him and I will move them in. I will ask them to be in an open relationship, give them no jealousy traits, and yeah, that's what I will do here. But for now, I haven't. I created some wives for him in Body Shop though, so that's the next thing to do. I'm actually playing him right now. And all those sims you can see here in the sim bin, these are all the sims that are at war basically. And they will be at war for 2 seasons. So one season already ended, but one more season, and I will roll if they are alive or not, or if they have PTSD, or um, if they like have to stay in the monastery or something. And there are two more households. Um, Not that much to say about them. These are not my main, not the main households, but they were made so that I would have slightly bigger population. Dark blue eyes are purple because I don't see why dark blue and light blue are different colors in The Sims 2 and why dark blue is somehow more dominant than light blue. That makes no sense to me. So at least I have a different color now. And I know purple is like not a real color, but anyway. So this girl here, she is a sister of this Sim whom my sim married and killed because he left her to go to the monastery. She just got married, and she wants a baby and everything. So there is not much to say about them, but this family has uh, sheep. Now these are usually outside, but sometimes I will keep them in. Usually when I open the business, so that visitors wouldn't come and steal them. So they have sheep. They are sheep farmers, sheep herders. Other than that, this the exact same house layout, just slightly different decorations. But this is what the houses originally looked like, the Chinese houses, or in my game, I mean, not in real life. But basically, as you can see, no rooms, so it's all one big room. Mostly because I just couldn't afford, my Sims couldn't afford to have more walls. As they get richer, they can afford them. But for now, there's only one bedroom with some setup for children, little kitchen, dining, and that's it. Um, that's really it. But yeah, so far there's not that much to say about them here. The only interesting thing is again a similar uh, story happened. Uh, so the mother of this sim was the founder of this family. Um, she had a husband and they had three children, and again her husband left her to go to the monastery. I don't know what it was. Like when I was playing, all these founders in my Asian part of town, somehow uh, I rolled that like one sim would leave and join the monastery or something. So, so they had three children. For now, not that much to say about them. The youngest is a teen, is not married yet, but the rest of them just got married. They haven't had children yet. Um, I really love the sun and moon animals, but they take a long time to, especially sheep, take a long time to give birth because sheep only give birth in spring. So if you play with Max's lifespan, you're really not going to see a lot of sheep, in the lifespan of one sim anyway. So there's this family, and there's one more, but they will be very similar because I don't always play these families. They don't have such elaborate um, family trees. I will play them, but basically I don't always play them. I only play this family all the time because they have direct relations to my Roman family. So I feel like I need to play them, so the family tree would make sense. But there's one more family, and again, not that much to say about them. But the father of this uh, sim here started the monastery. He was the first one who left his wife. Like he had one baby, and he said, "Okay, so I did my duty. I had I had a baby with you. Now I'm leaving." um. So yeah, I married them as teens actually. I didn't have to do that. It's just I wanted my Sims to like live in marriages rather than having just one Sim take care of the house. They don't have to have children yet or anything, but I wanted to get them married because his father created the monastery. His uh, mother is already deceased, unfortunately. But she lived until he was a teenager, thankfully, so he wasn't like taken away or anything. Um, because because the father started the monastery, I let them have like a slightly more elaborate shrine so they can pray here. Uh, but they were meant to be fishermen. And fish is very simple to make a lot of money on fishing in The Sims. So honestly, I am surprised that they haven't really been making that much money. I think that's because this was basically a single mother household, and his mother had to take care of him, and he is just now learning how to fish. He has silver badge. He has to spend more time fishing, and they have to open the store and all that. She is from the household we just saw. She had two blood brothers, and I guess her brother just. My story is that her brother wanted to get her married already because I mean that's very sad, but like women were sort of problematic when you had you know I imagine, especially if like your parents were not alive anymore and you only had siblings, then all there was for you to do as a woman was to get married and get under someone else's household. Weddings in ancient China, and basically parents of the wife wouldn't even take part in the official marriage ritual, like the nuptials or whatever, because technically the wife was already under her husband's family. So, like, her family didn't really have to care anymore, I guess. I guess they still, said bye or something, but um, it was all on the husband's family from the wedding on. So I imagine if like your parents died, um, then brothers probably didn't really care. That's what I think. Like they just wanted you gone, so they could do their own thing. Yeah, it's terrible. I agree. Like I can't imagine that. Um, and one more household. I don't play it all the time again, but I will have to play it soon because I have to kill these guys off. How morbid as it is. Because these are the founders of the Asian families. These are the ones who left their wives and became monks. Which is okay, by the way. Like historically, I read about it anyway that it was okay. You could like have a wife or husband first, and then you could join some sort of monastic order. Especially if you were like a widowed woman or something, you could do that. And in fact, people wanted you to do that because if you were a widow, a lot of people feared you a little bit because you had quite a lot of power, actually. If if the household basically belongs to you as a woman. So these are all the monks. Not that much to say about them. I don't really play them much, uh, unless someone is in the jail. This is the monastic building, not very playable, unfortunately. Outside of the ground floor and the second floor, the top floor is too small to do anything, but I mean, it looks nice. Uh, but I also added a jail because apparently, in ancient China, jails would be like next to monasteries or something. Like I read about this, so I have these prison mod things here, but I don't use every feature of it. I don't use the custom carrier because I have enough like guards here. But it was interesting when I had a um, person in jail here. I even took pictures of her with the drafting table. And she just was here. She spent her time here. Not a lot of fun things to do. But basically, I have here this. So this is from the prison mod. You can sentence someone and they will spawn. But they will. There's also this um, other chain. This other chain is by Hriveres. I think it's from Medieval Sims, and you can basically have someone imprisoned here, and they will stay next to the wall and they can't move basically. Uh, so you can like torture them if you want to. I didn't torture them, but you can. I just had them sit in one place, do whatever. They have a little bathroom, and yet I have only enough place for two prisoners here, and it's like in the dungeon because I thought it made sense to have the prison in the dungeon. They have a little kitchen here, and because they are monks, they also can right. I mean, they're really painting because it's The Sims, but uh, they can get some creativity. But the main monastery building is here. They have tea ceremony table. That's the bon voyage. And also there are some ideas I stole from other people. They were talking, and I believe tea addict streams. That you can have like a little. I think I showed it the last time I was trying to showcase this, but basically you can have sort of a confession room, confessional. It doesn't really look like a confessional and Christianity, but it's a very interesting concept. You can have two rooms, and Sims will talk to each other through a wall. So this is a this is a uh, this is a curtain just so it doesn't look out of place. But this is the counter cutout. This is like a fake window thing. This is like a fake window, and this is a bit BB-ish fake wall. So you can have like a pretend confessional. Um, so I just put it here not because I think it was historical in Asia to have something like this, but because I thought it was an interesting idea and I didn't want to forget to make it, so I made it. And I also have a setup here for school. This is the Simlogical school. It's just medieval meshes, so it looks a bit more historically accurate, let's say. Um, this is where my sim from Rome came to have this pilgrimage, learn a little from the monks, and she met her husband here. And yeah, this is like a little setup for the school, but right now there are no children. And on the second floor, there are single beds for the monks. And on this floor, there are just like, all the modded objects because this is not livable. This is too small. So very simple, but I liked this a lot. So as you can see, this was made on a pond. There's a pond, and this is this foundation for water, the water foundation, whatever it's called. Um, yeah, and one of them already became an elder. Another one will soon become an elder. Yeah, they will soon become elders, and they will probably have to expire. So my family trees make sense. All right. Anyway, I guess that's really all about my hood. So my hood is 4 generations in. Um, I didn't make this terrain. Again, it's a great terrain from not The Sims. This is Iberian. I believe this is based on the uh, map of Spain. This is Spain, I think. And it's a great map, very big because I feel like I need a big map. My Sims originally started here. Everyone lived on like empty lots, but I had like one ice age sort of thing, so I moved them into caves. But basically everyone survived unless there was again some deadly scenario or another like mortality roll. So everyone had a lot of rocks, and they had a little pond inside of the cave as well for the ice age before they only lived in tents and everything like that. But this was the beginning, um, which didn't last very long because I felt like it didn't really make sense to make it longer. this time period. Just because I already know who would be the richest and all that. Everyone. Bye, 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 everyone. Never know this is a mirrored.